Okay, welcome back to Gary's Economics. Today is unfortunately my goodbye video for now, because this will be the last video in the 24-25 season. Thank you. Okay, so this is it, the last video while I go away. If you watch this, I'll probably already be in Italy. I wanted to just talk, I've got here written on my script, just run with no script, but I can't, to be honest, I'm absolutely knackered. I want to talk a little bit about this season. And this season has been, I would say, probably the hardest season for me personally of Gary's Economics. If I'm honest, I think I probably exhausted myself a little bit in the first half of the year. It seems ages ago now, but the paperback came out in end of January. And the first half of the year was absolutely insane for me. It was absolutely crazy. I was everywhere. It felt like I couldn't live my life, really. We were getting like 50 million views a month. It really felt like we were going to take the world over. And I was working crazy hard. Really hard. I didn't realize it was going to go on as long as it did. It just kept going and going and going. And I had a holiday planned in the spring, which I kept postponing. And the holiday ended up being quite short, and I ended up working half the holiday and doing interviews all over the place. And then when I came back in June to start this season, it really felt like we were kind of on the edge of winning world taxes. And I really wanted to like hit the ground running and really go. And I started making videos in June, and it was probably only about 3-4 videos in, I just started feeling like I was exhausted, to be honest. And I don't know if it was just me getting old or if I worked too hard, but it was difficult for me because we'd achieved so much and we'd come so close. It really felt like what it needed was for me to like keep pushing and push more and more and more. And it just felt like the legs weren't there really. I didn't have the energy I needed to really run in. It felt like when I'm really doing a lot of work, you know, I can be doing interviews and doing these videos and writing articles and appearing on people's podcasts. And it really feels like you can kind of carry the thing on your back. But I couldn't really. This is the first time really that I've ever done this channel that I just felt like I didn't have the energy that I needed to push us to where we needed to be. And that was difficult for me, to be honest, especially because it felt like we were quite close to winning at times. But I think if I'm honest, we were probably never that close yet. And it's probably partially wishful thinking for me in a way. Because when you're working so hard, you just want to get there, right? You want to get there, you want to reach the end. You want to win and have it won and kind of go away, go on holiday for like a year. But the truth is, it was never going to be that easy. We've made unbelievable, amazing strides this year to win the public. But what we've seen is, it's not enough just to win the public. You do need to figure out how to win over the politicians, how to win over, you know, the media to some degree and this intellectual class. How do we break into that how do we break in with the posh people basically? And I think the truth is we were never going to quite make it this year, which is a shame. But the truth is, it's exactly what I predicted. You know, if you go and look at the videos that we did just before the election, this is exactly what I said would happen. It's exactly what I said Labour would do. Yeah, there's not a single thing that's happened that surprised me. I didn't expect Labour to come over and they haven't. I expected Labour to be unpopular and they have. I expected Labour to change leader and it looks like they will. A new leader will come in. It's a new opportunity. But if I'm totally honest, I don't think we'll get them either. But we are in a much stronger position than we were 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The size of this movement is huge now. So I'm going to keep fighting. So that was kind of where I was when I came back and did the videos. I felt that my energy was kind of going, which was a shame because I'd only been back a sort of month and a half. And I always feel with these videos, I try my best to do them without a script, but it's hard when I'm tired. And I feel like when you go without a script, what really drives the videos is your understanding and your passion and your energy. And it's sometimes difficult to combine those things because you want to keep that shape and structure and clarity you get from the understanding, but also allow that sort of passion to come through. And what I felt really during this season was the energy was kind of going. And then we saw this like massive rise in the media salience of immigrant, refugee stuff, far right stuff. And that was really difficult for me, to be honest, because, you know, I've always had this idea that I'm an economist and I talk about the economy. And our current economic situation is not working or not going to work for 80-90% of people. So we can really rally and unite the public on this. And a big part of sort of the philosophy of this channel and my philosophy is basically about uniting the public. And as this anti-immigrant rhetoric really went up and up and up and up and up, what I probably felt most personally was just the division, basically. The division in the country, the division in the public. And for me, it was difficult. You know, I know people think I'm a communist. I don't come from a political background. I come from a very working class, poor background. But then I've been to fancy universities and I've worked fancy jobs. So now in many ways, I'm in a more sort of middle class space. And what I felt with this anti-immigrant thing reminded me a lot of how I felt with the Brexit thing, which was I saw the sort of class divisions in this society really being sort of torn at the seams. And it kind of felt like this division between the world that I came from and the world that I'm in now. And it's hard, really. It's hard. It's sort of, it breaks my heart in a way to see so much division. And I worry that if we don't do anything about this, we can end up kind of going the way that America has gone, where basically the country is like split into two and everybody with a red hat hates everyone with the blue hat and everyone with the blue hat hates everyone with the red hat. And I don't want it to go that way. I don't want it to go that way. So I decided to speak a little bit more about the protests and the migrant stuff, which is not something I'm super comfortable speaking about. But it felt like something I had to do, and I did my best to speak about it in a way that is compassionate and understand what's happening. And I hope I said the right things. I'll do my best. But we've got to the end of the season now. I've been pushing it, if I'm honest. Trying to sort of push myself to keep going because I was only away last in May, June, and I felt bad to take another break. But I could feel that exhaustion coming. And when I get to the end of a season, I kind of feel the same at the end of every season, really. Which is this sense of having really worked a lot. I put a lot of effort into this channel, into these videos. And each season we achieve more, and each season we achieve more. And this year in particular, I think it's amazing what we've achieved. And you put so much work in, and you get to the end, and you realise that we still haven't won, and we're not even winning. And it's hard, I think. I find that hard. But what I want to say is, we are getting there. We are moving forward. The channel is like so much louder and bigger than it was when I started this channel 5 years ago. I mean, when I started 5 years ago with my mate Simran, I never ever would have imagined we could be what we are now, which is genuinely, legitimately, I think a major political player in this country. That's what we are. And that growth is thanks to you. This channel is ultimately a political experiment, which is to see whether an almost unfunded YouTube channel can compete with the major newspapers and political broadcasters, TV channels, radio channels, on the basis of word of mouth from the public, just by being honest, being clear, being knowledgeable, and explaining what's happening to the public. And we're doing it. We're one of the major political players in the country. And I'll keep doing it. If we keep growing, we'll still be there. There's big opportunities next year, and I'll be back. I'll do my best to take them. I want to thank Jack, cameraman. Jack does great work. These videos are a lot tighter when they go out than when I do them, and that's thanks to Jack's work. I never check his work because I have implicit trust in him. He's doing a great job. I want to thank Oscar. He's the only employee on this channel, and he has asked me. He basically runs all the backroom stuff, all the organisational stuff, and he has asked me in particular, in typically selfless Oscar fashion, to publicise the merch that he's worked hard to get made. These Tax Wealth Not Work t-shirts. I think there's more. We've got stickers, hoodies, tote bag. Oscar's doing fantastic work. We'll put a comment in the link. A link in the comments for people who want to buy merch. I want to say a very special thank you to the Patreon supporters. It's the Patreon supporters that pay Jack, that pay Oscar. We have never ever put any adverts in these videos, and the reason we're able to do that is because of the Patreon supporters. It all works because of you. But more than anything, like, it means a lot to me to see that ordinary people are willing to pay to support something. They don't get anything back for it. They pay because they care about this project like I do. And when times are tough, it makes me feel like I'm not doing it alone. So yeah, massive thanks to Jack, to Oscar, to all the Patreon supporters. Really appreciate that. I've got a long list of thanks here. I want to thank other people who do this work. Gabriel Zuckman, doing amazing work in France. All the great guys at Patriotic Millionaires UK, especially Rebecca Gowland. Fantastic work they do over there. I want to thank Zack Polanski for the massive work he's done, publicising wealth taxes. Whether you like him or not, you know, and I don't agree with him on everything. This guy has been doing so much work publicising wealth taxes. We have to thank him. So many interviews. You've got to respect that. I've got a long list here of all the other creators who I want to thank. When I went away in May, I did a call out to people to make art, to make, especially to make videos. And there's so many. I'm going to forget some. JimmyTheGiant, as always, big friend of the channel, working his tits off, doing great work. Frankie, Meditations of an Anxious Mind, doing some great stuff, good lad. Forest Jar on Instagram. I think Forest Jar videos are really good work. Go check them out. Anna Bocca, she's doing great work on YouTube. Check out her channel. Barry's Economics, you've got to mention Barry's Economics. Barry's Economics, fantastic. I think he's nearly 10,000 subs. Go check him out. Louisa Munch, Critical Theory. These last two, Barry's Economics and Louisa Munch, I want to give them a special mention because I think the two of these made their channels basically in response to the call out I did in May, saying I want to see more people doing, like creating. So that means a lot to me. It's hard making a channel. You do a lot of work for not a lot of money, for basically no money for a lot of time. And I know how much work it is because I do it. So I really do appreciate you guys who are doing the work. Barry's Economics and Louisa Munch Critical Theory. The guys at Novara, Unlearning Economics, Punters Politics in Australia, Chloe Swarbrick in New Zealand. Harjun Chang doesn't have a channel, but I want him to make an Instagram about food. Come on, Harjun Chang, he'd be really popular. Yeah, I really appreciate other people doing it. I always feel guilty going on holiday because I feel like I carry a lot of this movement, but I see more and more people making great videos and it makes me feel like I can take breaks, which I need, and I really appreciate that. All of the other creatives, people who sent us music, paintings, Jordan Stevens of Rizzle Kicks are putting us on the album, all of the grime artists who've been reaching out to us, Bashi, Toddler T, everyone, the people who've been making t-shirts, posters, stickers. Yeah, it means a lot to me. Yeah, this season's been a difficult one for me. I've worked so hard this year and I've really exhausted myself, and it's difficult doing creative work when you feel exhausted. I think the biggest challenge about this particular part of the season is, in previous seasons, I've been very much focused on doing the creative work, doing the videos, doing the interviews. But this last season, I've been doing tons of work behind the scenes, which is trying to talk to think tanks, trying to talk to politicians, trying to like set stuff up, trying to like find ways to actually break into politics. And I hate it. I'm so bad at that work. And it's so much easier to just be making the videos, trying to make amazing videos. And I'm not great at sort of multitasking, but we have to do it. We have to figure out ways. This channel was never about just making me famous on YouTube. It's supposed to be about changing policy. But I'll keep doing that. And I want to thank everyone who watches the videos, who shares the videos. I really appreciate it. I live in East London, and there's a famous mural down the street from here called Cable Street Mural, which is it's a mural from I guess it was maybe the 30s, back when like serious fascism was on the rise and Nazism was on the rise in Europe. And there was a big like fascist Nazi movement here in London and in the UK. And there was a march, the fascist march in London, and the locals in East London came out and they didn't accept it. There was a massive fight. There's a big mural down the street, which is nice. If you're ever in London, go check it out. And I go there, I cycle past it all the time, and quite often I will stop and just have a little look. And I stopped there the other day and I was standing by this mural and I was looking at this mural. And just as I was thinking the sun was going down, painting the scene, and just as I was looking at it, I saw that somebody had put a sticker right on the railing at the bottom, right in the middle. A big tax world not work sticker. And when I see stuff like that, it makes me think that all the hard work is worth it. So that's it, I've got to go. I'll be already in Italy by the time this comes out. We've got a lot going on. Some stuff I'm not allowed to speak about yet because it's not public. We're trying to do some really exciting stuff. So many offers coming in. We're trying to do some good stuff. Tour in Italy, which is happening now. You'll have probably missed it by the time this comes out, but we'll have put the dates out in another short. Australia, New Zealand tour coming in February, March. I think there's still tickets available. Go and check that out. Really looking forward to going down under. I'm not quite sure how long we'll be down for, but I think it'll be at least a few months. We'll probably do some specials, in particular around the budget, because the budget's coming out into November. Government's going to raise taxes, not on the rich, on workers, and people are going to try to blame me for that. So we'll make some videos to make it very, 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 very clear that we are campaigning to raise taxes on the very rich, not on working people. So we'll probably have to do a special or two around the budget, maybe something end of the year. We'd love to go and meet Gabriel Zuckman in France. Jack's been practicing his French, especially. We don't know if we'll manage to figure that out. But I'll be back. And in the meantime, keep watching the videos, keep making stuff, keep creating, keep talking about it. The message is simple. Living standards are falling because of growing wealth inequality. If you don't fix wealth inequality, if you don't fix the tax system, living standards will fall further. Tax wealth, not work. Yeah, keep fighting, keep talking about it. I know it's a long fight, and sometimes it can be dispiriting, but I promise you this, we will win in the end. If we didn't win yet, it isn't the end. Good luck.